Part 2.
All right.
Part 2. Here we go. We just left off with viewer comments. If you were just tuning into this for the first time, this is part 2, and we really want to keep it at 2. We got hammered for the 4-part show.
I'll make sure he keeps it at 2.
All right, let's go. So we just finished off with a viewer comment from Kane. I think we're trying to figure out where he is, right?
Yeah, where he's from. He said he plays tennis, that he's the type of player that I guess hitters hate because he slices, he drop shots, so he knows how to, he has this different style from your common tennis player. So where are you from? Also, I mean, he mentioned that I'm a Roger Federer fan. I like him. I'm not a fan. I'm a Rafael Nadal fan, which I think I explained in the comment. The reason why Djokovic, I said, gets under my skin is because he beats Rafa, and that's my guy. So.
Yeah. And Kane, again, if the win sometimes is,
I don't think there's win.
Tough,
it's fine.
But where are you from, by the way, in terms of if you're in the U.S. or wherever, hey, we can play doubles anytime. We'll play doubles. You play mixed, and then we can throw in some singles like King of the Hill. If you hold your serve out in deuce court, then we can just switch sides, whatever. So King of the Hill, doubles, singles. Let's go.
Awesome.
Let's go.
All right, next comment. Aisu Koyu says, can you please make shorter videos? It's impossible to watch them from beginning to end.
My fault. We're on it. My fault. We got you, though.
Next comment. Wainam Chia says, agree that Djokovic is either favorite or co-favorite with Nadal, but let's not get carried away. Had a couple of things gone Raonic, Dimitrov, or Chilik's way, Fed would be considered the favorite now. I mean, like I said, anything can happen, right? I mean, we can't keep talking about who's the greatest and this and that. They all have their own qualities.
When he mentioned those names, that's going back to the U.S. Open draw. Generally, those are the guys that are in Federer's side of the draw. Federer on his half, he's got Dimitrov and Raonic and throw in maybe an Anderson in there or something. And then you look at Nadal and Djokovic's half. Generally, every major, it's Nadal, Djokovic. I mean, the list goes on. Tsonga is, Berdic's. They're all mixed up there. And, anyway, so
that's true. That's true. Wainam Chia is, he's right about that.
Right about that.
He also says, yes, no one challenged Nadal more on clay than Djokovic. Do also know that Nadal took back the #1 position from Djokovic in the midst of his peak years 2013, and not only challenged Djokovic, but beat him on hard courts twice that year, including the U.S. Open. Not to mention that the 2018 Wimbledon and 2012 Aussie final could have gone Rafa's way too. In sports, in life, there is no if only. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah. I mean, some of the fans say, well, Djokovic could have beaten. But could have, should have, would have.
Could have, should have, would have.
As simple as that.
That was one of the things that I had heard in my house growing up so many times. You're so close, but yet so far.
Well, my kids make that excuse. Oh, I could have beaten. I don't want to hear it. You either do it or you don't, and that's it.
You lost. Move forward.
Exactly.
All right, let's go.
Wainam Chia also says, but on clay it's a different thing. Djokovic has played Nadal at Djokovic 100% on clay and lost when it mattered. Djokovic has played Nadal at Djokovic 100% on clay and lost when it mattered most at Roland Garros and repeatedly. So yeah, I mean, he did beat him in the quarterfinals, but he has yet to beat Rafa in a final at a Roland Garros.
You got the round right this time.
Yes.
Let's go.
Okay, AJ Malfoy says, topic to retire. GOAT discussion.
All right, so let me mention how this works. Mm-hmm. This is the second request for a retired comment or topic. This is a good thing. This has to be a democratic thing. So earlier in this 71 shows, I was talking about grunting, and I can't even bring it up. Really, I'm banned from it. I was talking about ladies making noises when they hit shots, and I didn't like. I can't listen to it. But I talked about it a lot, so I was asked, man, we got to stop talking about grunting.
Rahesh told you to
stop. Some people, yeah, Rahesh. So much love, Rahesh. But we retired that because I mentioned it, and people were like, yeah, we can retire it. So I retired it. Do we never bring up greatest of all time again?
I think that we should maybe think about it.
Think about it?
Think about it maybe after the US Open or after a few slams.
Remember, it's your show. It's up to you. If you don't want me to bring up GOAT or greatest of all time, I don't think we started it in the first place.
No.
I think it just kind of came up and we've been going. If you want me to retire it, great. If you don't want to talk about it and not retire it, and that way if someone wins the US Open, then you want to talk about it again, we can unretire it. Anyway, vote on it. Do we retire the greatest of all time discussion? It's your vote, yes or no. I need to hear some feedback.
Okay.
Let's go.
Kia Sama says, oh wow, found a YouTube channel streaming live WTA matches, and my god, Sabalenka's screeching is atrocious. And yes, I know the whole grunting topic is banned, but whoa. Also, why are they so dramatic when they lose a point? And I thought the men had problems. Whining, foot stomping, making weird, unearthly noises. Not appealing at all. I don't remember them being that noisy at Wimbledon, or when they were just being, or were they just being respectful of the history of the place, or too scared to upset the Queen of Buckingham Palace with how loud they can get. Sorry, just being a little petty little thing. I'm just glad to even watch a WTA match for free. As for your topic questions, if I can remember them all, Kyrgios will not be winning the US Open until he gets his priorities in order. Nole can beat Stan in a best of 5 at this point. I don't care how good Wawa looks, Novak isn't going to roll over. Novak says he's not at his best yet. Watch the ATP behind the scenes.
Told you.
At the Today Show video post earlier today. So your analysis is dead on, Justin. He can only get better.
Let's go.
Murray, even if he makes a comeback, it's not going to be anything too impressive.
No way.
Last but not least, you can also add links to your all social media sites in your description section beneath each video you post. Makes it easier for folks to find a click. Thanks again for another great discussion.
And I'll start putting him there again. I don't know anything about that stuff. She has it, and I'll start putting it there. And I think in the last video we mentioned what the names were.
Yeah.
All right.
I told you Sabalenka screeched, by the way, but I can't talk about that. Okay.
Big, strong girl, though.
Yeah. Weird. Okay, Kiyosama. Oh, something else I just thought about. Would it ever be feasible to have a Grand Slam as indoor event? Like, say in the future the ATP finals are changed into a Grand Slam, and let's say the Aussie Open is taken out. That way you really have 4 different surfaces for each of the slams. Could you see something like this ever happening? Or just say hypothetically? Or I should elaborate by saying playing on carpet surface. You know, I actually like that idea. I don't understand.
Indoor, right?
Yeah, I don't understand why we have the US Open that's hardcourt, Australian that's hardcourt. Well, I understand the French and Wimbledon is grass, French is clay. Why do we have 2 Grand Slams that are almost the same surface?
The surface in Australia is a little bit different than,
but it's still
than the
hardcourt.
US Open.
It's still hardcourt.
I think it's a different type of epoxy or something like that. I'm no guru on exact makeups of surfaces, but I think US Open plays a little bit faster or slower than the Australian. I love this.
I think indoors would be great with carpet.
Or even if it's not carpet, green clay or whatever. When I was a child, we lived in Virginia Beach for 2 years. My father was a doctor. He was a Navy captain and was a physician in the military. And we were living in Virginia Beach, and there was a club, Virginia Beach Swim and Racquet Club, and they had a bubble. All the courts were in a big bubble. Helicopter. So we would go in there and play. Whether it was rain, snow, it didn't matter. So there was never an excuse for us to not go out and train because we had a bubble. Inside that bubble, there was no wind factor. It was a beautiful environment. The acoustics of the ball, when you hit it, snack, you could just hear it echo throughout. It was a really beautiful sound. It was like almost being in a concert with a really nice concert pianist or something. You know, you hit the ball, and you know when you have a good point going because it's like pow, and then the other side's like pow, and there's pow. I mean, you could like get a rhythm going in there. It was beautiful. So yeah, I think having an indoor major would be absolutely spectacular. Not just 2 show courts. I'm talking about the whole thing.
I don't think it'll ever happen, but I think it's a great idea.
I think it's absolutely spectacular.
I would love to see that. I love playing indoors. I played in New York indoors in the wintertime. So
yeah, and when
I played on clay.
And when I was a kid too, and we moved all the time, traveling everywhere. Anytime there was an indoor court somewhere, my dad would always be like, "You're gonna go hit in that court because it's a different world in there."
It is.
It's a different world.
You can't hit super high balls too because you would hit the bubble if you backed up too much.
Come on.
So, yeah, great comment.
Love that. Up for comment of the day.
Yeah. Next comment. AJ Malfoy. I didn't realize what a gladiator-like competition tennis is. Other than no one dies, the crowd is wanting for the players to come, waiting for them to deliver a great fight. And they walk through the tunnel, and they get on the court, and they get out their rackets, their weapons, and now they start. Tennis is a perfect combination of violent action taking place in an atmosphere of total tranquility. Don't you just love how the crowd is noisy, and then all of a sudden, before someone serves, it gets so quiet you can hear a pin drop? After the point of place comes alive. It's such a common sight in tennis, but still so awesome.
Up for comment of the day. Up for comment of the day. Absolutely. When I go play her, most people, when I play other people, I just go, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. Let's go play, and then we get done and see you later. When I play her though, what? Talk about a duel. I get mad. Just want to tear you up. Like just.
Actually, when I hit,
I get
Okay, maybe you don't feel like that towards other people, but when I play anybody out there, even if you're like, oh, let's just hit some balls.
You just want to beat them down.
Not for me. I don't like wasting time on a tennis court. I don't just want to pitter pat back. I want to hit the ball.
Okay, check this out. Here's a story. I have to make it quick. So we were at a club in Montgomery. This like 4 or 5 women's league or 4-0 women's league asked her to come out and play a match. She was like, no, oh, please come play. So she goes and plays a match. They're like, just so you know,
it's a 4-5.
4-5. She was, just so you know, this girl's the best at our club, so be careful. Carla walks out on the court with like black shoes, sweatpants.
Actually, the baby was like 3 months old. Yeah. Gabby was 3 months old. So I just had a baby.
Yeah, she just had a baby 3 months old. So she goes out there. She beats her in the first set 6-0 badly. I don't even know if she ever lost a point. Maybe double fault costed you a point. I can't recall.
I don't think so.
Second set, she got up like 5-0. Lady walks up to her. Hey, you're changing sides at 6-0, 5-0. Why don't you give her a game? This is going to hurt her feelings. Carla looked at her and was like, I don't give away games. She walked back to that baseline, served it out, 40 love, over. So beat the club lady 4-5, 0-0. This lady was like, I could beat her. She didn't know what type of player she was. She sized her up. And unfortunately, she sized up the wrong girl.
Yeah,
Let's go.
And she complained about, well, what if she have a baby stroller here? And I had to explain to her,
yeah,
I just had a baby.
I just had that baby 3 months ago, and I just kicked your ass 6-0, 6-0. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My fault. But that was a heck of a win.
Well, I didn't know she was your customer. When I saw her, I said, oh.
And at this point in time, I was in the car industry for a little while, got out of coaching for a bit, jumped back into coaching, and she ended up being one of my customers, so she stopped being my customer after that. Drilling! Let's go!
She's like, oh, she's your wife. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, get some of that. You already got some once.
All right, next comment. AJ Malfoy says, love the thumbnail, by the way.
Thank you, Kia, for recommending to do that. So she mentioned thumbnail. I had to look up what a thumbnail even was. I didn't even know what it was. So I kind of messed with the app on my phone and figured it out. So if you notice the pictures
looks better now.
Let's go.
Rahesh says, Rahesh Kumar, I meant that only Novak challenged Nadal and Clay than anyone. Yes, very true.
Agreed.
He's the only one that's challenged him. And he also says, Justin, you didn't have to do that. I was just making our tennis talk about beautiful and knowledgeable and no negatives.
What that comment is a response to is Rahesh was keeping or making sure that we all stay smiling and moving forward. I thought it was a beautiful moment. So you would have to check out yesterday's video to get the whole deal on that. And because I don't want to waste more of your time, check out yesterday's videos. But again, that was a beautiful thing that Rahesh did. Potentially, nothing happened, but he was making nice for Carla, and I thought that was a beautiful thing.
Yes,
let's go, Rahesh.
All right, new comment, new viewer. Stefan.
We talked about that first one.
Right.
Now it's message.
Stefan Nesevic.
Let's go.
I hope I'm pronouncing your last name right. I'm sorry. Spanish names are easier and American names, but, you know, this is a little bit tougher for me. He wrote the same comment twice. I don't think he realized that. He said, discover your channel a few days ago. Well done for your great work and passion. So, obviously, I'm a great Novak fan because he is one of the best ambassadors of my country and a great human being in the first
Serbia,
place.
Let's go.
Very funny to see how Carla's trying to be objective, and she clearly is not a big Nole fan.
You gotta read louder.
And it's very strange for me because if you have Spanish blood, it's very simple. You have to love Novak and Rafa.
That's two people that said there's no choice. You have no choice but to like it.
Wow. True warriors and guys who show emotion on court. So you never doubt how hungry they are for their success. One of the key things to Nole win at Cincinnati was that hunger. Small things make big difference in this level. Greetings shows from Belgrade. Maybe one day I will be a Novak fan. But he beats my guy, Nadal. So how do you guys expect me to be his fan when he's beating my favorite person? That's a little tough.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little tough.
She can't lie. He's growing.
Yeah.
Look, honestly, before we started doing this, she couldn't even watch him.
No, I couldn't. My dad and I would talk so bad about him.
So
he still does.
See, her dad doesn't like him either. Her dad's a Nadal fan. He's straight out of Honduras, so you have to understand that.
He's Spanish too, and he says, I can't stand that guy.
Yeah, but yet her brother
likes him.
Who's a heck of a tennis player.
Likes him.
Better than both of us.
Yeah.
And that's saying something.
That's his favorite, and he doesn't like Nadal.
Yeah, he doesn't like Nadal, and
he likes
he's a Djokovic
Roger.
fan. So
Yeah.
go figure.
Yeah.
You have to be a Carla or a Jonathan to think this way, or a Nathan. Yeah, Carla, Jonathan her brother and Nathan her dad. They're a tough.
We're
tough,
very competitive.
They're a tough group.
You know, my brother gets on me like, man, how can you say that butt picker is gonna beat Nadal? I mean, Djokovic. He's way better than Nadal is. You know,
They call him the Joker, actually.
The Joker.
They call him the Joker. Look at that Joker.
Yeah, and then we have another friend that's called Cesc Lopez. He's on our page too.
What's up, Cesc Lopez?
He hates your Federer. He calls him crybaby.
Well, they do that to talk garbage.
And actually, my brother sends him pictures too of Federer crying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Federer fan, but I'm a Nadal fan and a Djokovic fan. I mean, I've been around the game forever. I have more than one.
Oh, and one day he sent me a picture when we were just dating of Nadal eating a banana. He says, "Doesn't he resemble a monkey?"
Well, I put a picture together, so Nadal was like eating a banana.
Yeah, we go back and forth with this.
Let's go.
Next message, AJ Malfoy. Did anyone know that Stefanos Tsitsipas had a YouTube channel? I'm
Didn't.
not entirely positive about this. I didn't know.
I didn't know that. I really don't care here because I hope that. I mean, again, if I was tennis training, I wouldn't have time to do this.
No, I would get away. I would get away
yeah.
from that if you're gonna be number one in the world.
Now, do it later, sure. I particularly wish the best for this young man. I like his game, but yeah, I agree with this comment. I would be concerned too. You don't have any spare time. Eat, sleep, train, study. Eat, sleep, train, study. You don't have time for it right now. Hence the problems with, let's say, Eugenie Bouchard, just to name one. All right, let's go.
Rahesh has several short comments. He said, yes, I never liked Roddick. Let's go, Justin.
I agree.
I like Roddick.
Again,
I did.
A nice
he was like the sole American at that time.
A nice, jolly game, but no one can say his game was beautiful.
He had a few chances. No, it was ugly. He
Ugly
had
game.
He had a few chances to win more slams.
He dragged his foot. He had a jerky service motion. He would get in there, drag the foot, get
ugly
set.
Forehand, ugly backhand.
Yeah, I mean, really.
The only good thing about his thing was the serve, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, nice guy. I've been around him. Honestly, we talked about this yesterday in Mobile at a
He could have done so much more if Federer was out of the picture.
But yeah, I'm surprised at that Wimbledon he went to 9-7 or 11-9, whatever it was.
He had chances way earlier.
All right, let's go.
Rahesh says 3 U.S. Open for Nadal, 6 Australian Open for Novak. I guess maybe 2 for Nadal, so it's all even how you see it.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, and then he says Tsonga was a Australian final 2008. Novak beat Tsonga to win his first Grand Slam.
Good history.
I didn't remember that.
I didn't remember that. I remember the match now, but I didn't remember that. Good fact.
He says your thumbnail is awesome.
Appreciate that. That's Rahesh.
Yes.
Let's go.
And Justin, you mentioned about terrace farm/garden. It's common in other countries like mine, India, where many grow plants in terrace. Thanks for the tip.
This I'm going to mention real quickly. I have my entire life, for some reason, loved to garden. You can ask Carla. I do gardens in the front yard. I think I even have a video on YouTube about my last one that we created out of sand and compost. I did gardens in Vermont. I've done gardens in Montgomery. It's something that's fun to me. So I mentioned it a couple of videos ago that I came across a gargantuan 7-acre farm on top of an old building in Brooklyn, and how it amazed me. Well, Rahesh sent me this video of a common thing in India. Furthermore, it was like 7 o'clock this morning my time, or 8 o'clock this morning, and I watched it, and it was kind of one of those mornings where I'm waking up and I'm like, my leg kind of hurts, you know, still dealing with the injury. Kids are already making noise. All right, let's go. Let's dig in. And then I click on this video, and here was this really nice young man that was really pumped up about his garden. You could tell he really loved the thing, and the way he delivered his short little 6-minute video, I thought was just absolutely beautiful. And it turned my day into like, oh man, here we go. I got to get going again. Let's go. I still can't play tennis yet. My leg hurts. And then I saw a dude super proud of his garden, and I was like, let's go. Let's get this done. Let's roll. So anyway, that video got me going. So Rahesh's video, even though it wasn't a comment, his video share is up for comment of the day.
Okay.
All right, next.
Carla, Novak did beat Federer. This is Rahesh. Carla, Novak did beat Federer in Australian Open 2008. Semi-final, Novak was 20 and Federer was 26 at his prime. And he sent us a YouTube
How many
video.
comments you got left?
I only have Rahul, Stimpy, and Wayne Chio.
Let's roll.
That's it. Rahul says, Nadal 32, Djokovic 31, but they got completely different body posture. To be honest, Nadal is more likely to hang up his racket than Novak. Novak has a very good chance to surpass Nadal and Federer, and he will.
I agree with this.
Nadal will retire first, yes, because if he's put more wear and tear in his body, will he pass the Grand Slam count? We will see.
Yeah, I think Nadal's body breaks down before Djokovic.
Yeah.
Other than that, if it was a perfect world and everything was all peachy, like she said the other day, then who knows? But Nadal's game with the blistering rotator cuff forehand, it puts a lot of stress in here.
A lot of stress
I'm surprised he hasn't hurt the shoulder yet. Anyway, I agree with this at this point.
Stimpy Boy says, hey, can you guys please answer this question?
Let's go, Stimpy.
Will Nadal leave Nike like Federer did for a bigger deal with some other brand when his contract expires? And do you see him winning anything big with that new brand? Speaking hypothetically, of course. It is that big of a success if a player is able to win important things just with one big global brand like Nike. And when that player plays for some other smaller brand, he is incapable of having at least half or 1/3 of the success he had with Nike. Can that player really be the greatest? By the way, Nole won big with 4 different brands, smaller brands than Nike, and he's still winning. That's because he's the greatest champion tennis ever. Thanks. That's all. Thanks.
So we wanted to read this comment because this was the comment, I guess, that somehow was kind of lost in translation, and nonetheless, I thought we'd spoken about it. We wanted to make sure he was recognized for that because it's a great comment.
It is.
We've already discussed it,
yes,
right?
We discussed
so we discussed it at length already. I just want to...
But he is right. He does have a point. Sometimes these guys leave Nike and they start losing.
Well,
again, Djokovic has won with every
brand.
brand.
Just check out the previous video, or if it's in the beginning of this one, I can't recall. Again,
the last comment is short.
Yeah, this is part 2, but I have an ending too.
Okay.
So this is part 2 of 2, and I'm trying to keep it into 2. But check out the conversation about it. But again, he has a lot of good intellectual thought here, because I've heard this that Slazenger was around trying to jump on the scene with tennis rackets. There was a time in the early 90s or late 80s where Slazenger was starting to make graphite rackets along with Prince. And man, I used to hear this stuff on tour for people a few years older than me that would be like, man, I keep hearing that Slazenger is trying to pay draws makers to put less seeds in certain quarters so these rackets can get more media attention. I've heard this since I was a boy. Anyway, but check that out. I do not think Nadal will leave Nike. He's too meticulous for that. All right,
last comment. The draw takes place at 2 p.m., 2 a.m. in Singapore. You can catch it on many places. That's it.
Can't wait. Can't wait for draws. We discussed draws at the very beginning of the first video. So I think we've crossed that bridge. A lot of times I speak redundantly and I cost you guys time, and I have so many requests to shorten. Don't go 3 parts, 4 parts. So I'm trying to follow through with that. Great comments, great reading, great reading for sure. Great job, Carla. I'm gonna check time so I know how quickly to go. So 21 minutes, so we're doing pretty good. All right, Carla, thank you as always for your hard work. I won't leave you hanging there. She does a really good job. Again, Kane, I enjoyed your comments about comparing eras. It's impossible with technologies. Rahesh, I enjoyed your video. Stimpy, sorry for somehow losing in translation your wonderful comment. Kia, with your help as always. Who am I missing here? Wayne and Chia, always with the love, and the Doll fan for her. And the list goes on. I know I'm forgetting people. Anyway, great job, Carla. Since there's some Serbian people here, can I ask 2 questions? What happened to Janko Tipsarevic? And what happened to Viktor Troicki? I see Troicki here and there, still popping in and popping out. But there was a time where Tipsarevic was 8 in the world. There was a time where Troicki was 12 in the world. What happened?
I love Tipsarevic. He's like one of my favorite players to watch. So see, I do like Serbian players, and I enjoy watching Troicki.
And Ivanovic and
I like Jankovic and Ivanovic.
Yankovic.
Ivanovic, I used to tell him, she's like the most beautiful tennis player I've ever seen in my life.
Beautiful girl.
Yeah.
And then my buddy Greg Moy in Miami used to chill with Yankovic in Miami.
Yeah, I played one of her friends. I got to hit with one of her friends. Her name is Maya. She never went into professional tennis, but they were both best friends, except Jankovic. She was Serbian, also tall. Serbians are very tall. She was like 6'2", 6'3". Her husband's like 6'7".
Yeah, so...
Great tennis players, very competitive.
So what happened to Tattoo Man, Janko and Troicki? I think Troicki might have had some type of PED, some doping, and that may be way off.
I don't remember that.
I don't know.
I know Tipsarevic has gone through a lot of injuries.
Let me just go ahead and say that probably is a lie.
I've never heard that.
I don't want to put something out like that and be wrong. But I think something happened with Troicki on a personal level. I'm not sure. Please forgive me if I'm wrong there.
Well, Tipsarevic, I've seen videos of him training. But he didn't try to qualify for the U.S. Open, so I don't know if he's still injured.
I don't know. Good question. Tipsarevic, Troicki. What's up? What happened? Anyway, don't forget about the greatest of all time discussion. Do we retire it? Do we leave it semi-open, or do we close it? Remember, it's your show. I had grunting and screeching retired on me on our own show. Or it's yours anyway.
I don't blame you.
It's yours.
It gets old anyway.
It's yours anyway, but sometimes topics get old and people don't want to hear it anymore. Again, it's your show. Let us know. Comment of the day. First off, I really enjoyed Rahesh's video. However, because we're doing a comment of the day and not necessarily a share, I just want Rahesh to know that helped my day be better. So thank you for that. I'm going to give the comment of the day to Kane Slavljanovic, because it was the first time during this greatest of all time discussion that we should have discussed technology, rackets, fitness levels, generations. We should have discussed it before instead of just this one. I think at one point in time, though, I mentioned that if we took the majors away, then we'd have to go back in time and see what Fred Perry, Don Budge, and all these other players did, because I mentioned those players the other day as well. So I'm going to give the comment of the day to Kane. I mean, myself, again, I mentioned this earlier, I've played since I was 2, and I had to change my game in the early 90s, late 80s to where it is now. I feel like I'm a better player now, but I mean, if I played my old self, even at 40, I would have beat my old self. You know what I mean? And maybe not, but again, I was using a standard head racket or
I used a Woody too.
Or an 85. I'm just saying, even though I was more fit then, and was more consistent serve-wise and volleys-wise, I still feel like I could have beat my old self because of the extra power that I have with my racket, and then the extra muscle mass I put on over the years with supplements. I mean like protein drinks and stuff.
Yeah, well, also as we get older, we get smarter as tennis players.
He mentioned Laver and Don Budge. Don Budge, I have a Don Budge racket inside right now on my wall. I'll bring that out. You want to grab it? I'll show them. It's the one unstrung, the older one. But when I grew up, my upbringing, and I mentioned this before, was watching players such as Budge and such as Tilden on old film, stuff that had been burned off. I had a coach that died at 93, 94. His name was Norm Pollock. I have a picture that I've showed on these videos before. I hold up a big picture. It was like a month or two ago. But we were raised watching these people and hitting with these type of rackets. Even though there were newer rackets out at this point, my initial coaches and my father and my initial coaches made me play with these type rackets. So this is a Don Budge. You can see the name here. That's a Don Budge. Okay, you can see his picture on there. Here, I don't know if you can see that. I'll look around the back side of the camera. Okay, that's a Don Budge All-Star model. Okay, so I still enjoy stringing these. I don't know if anybody strings, but they're just have shared holes. They're usually like an 18 by 20 pattern. But these are the rackets right here. This is our logo, obviously, but this is an old Wilson Don Budge. Let's go! This is how I was raised, and I had to change the game on myself. So how can we go back and compare Don Budge? How can we go back and compare...
Isn't our rackets like almost double the size now?
Yeah, how can you go back and compare Don Budge, you know, hitting like this? Okay? Alright, versus now, cranking ball, splat-low, splat-low. Now you can drill with this thing though, look. You come out and crank ball, boom! Come out from there, wow! Love this, man. Wow! Wow! Now you can hit that way. You can hit that way with these. We have a video. Check it out. I don't know where it is though. It says
it's on the playlist where I was hitting us together. It's Carla and Justin hitting.
Yeah, so we got a video hit with these. I put my own grip on it, but it's a classic. Don Budge, let's go. All right, moving forward. So Kane, you have the comment of the day. Let's go, Kane. Kane, we mentioned doubles before. He called us out on doubles. She's ready to play mixed. I'm ready to play doubles. Dominate. Hungry. Love to play. As soon as this ladies get done.
You might want to team up with me though.
Oh.
If you want to win.
Oh, we'll play Canadian or Australian. All right, we got a bird.
Dave knows. Dave knows. Dave, you know. Team up with me, we win.
It's all right. What's up, Dave Brains? Doubles anytime. We have 2 courts here. Hey, the door's open. Let's go. Happy travels if you're coming from far. All right, I'm surprised. We're getting this under 2 shows. So, as always, thank you, everyone. This is going to wrap it up. Thank all of you so very much for helping us trim this down, because this 2-show stuff I can dig. Hopefully, we are getting better in time, and we are getting better ourselves. Again, this is your show, so any help is appreciated. We do this for you because we have a good time doing it. So it's really like a happy family type thing. So let's go with that too. Love it. Don't forget to put in your 4 finalists: 2 men, 2 women, and the winners. And you can win this Don Budge. No, I got to keep this one. I'd rather give you the head racket. That's irreplaceable. There's a UTEC Extreme Pro racket, strung with Lenco Hyper G16, 4¼ grip, leather grip, nice limited version. If you guess them, you got it. If there's a tie, we'll figure it out. If you win one, I'll send you some grips and string or something. Nothing non-tennis related though. Draw discussion. We're having draw discussion tomorrow, so we'll hit viewer comments really quick tomorrow. When the draws come out, Carl and I and the kids are going to sit down and do them. We'll discuss each quarter of the draw all the way to the final tomorrow. That one could go long. I hope not. Stimpy, much love to you. Sorry we forgot your topic, but I really think we talked about it before. I think we just missed it.
And not only that, sometimes I know because of the time difference, I ask them, you know, what's the time there? So we're like 5 hours difference. I wake up at 4 or 5 in the mornings, and that's usually when I start replying comments.
So we're Central Standard Time. I think from England we're 6 hours back or 5 hours back. We have a time schedule set when we watch majors. We know what time we have to be around to watch the respective majors. Like Australia, it's 2 in the morning. England is like you have to be. So anyway,
England's not so bad.
England's not so bad. So anyway, like the video, share the video, subscribe. Again, we enjoy doing this, and we would really like to make it something we can even do more intensely. But because of other obligations, we're not able to do it even halfway as intensely as we like to. But thanks so much. Again, if it's not for you, there's not us. So you're a part of us and our daily grind and regimen that we do daily at this point. 71 shows in, so hey, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And the U.S. Open starts, so it's going to be real hectic for about 2 weeks. But I'm excited about it.
Yeah, me too.
Let's go.
Let's go, Rafa. Like he says, vamos.